Welcome to day 123 of the New Way. Now only Matthew records this event in Peter's life. I assume it happened on that same night when Jesus walked on the water out to the boat of the disciples. Remember that Matthew was most likely an actual eyewitness to this event. I'll read Matthew 14:28 through 33. "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me!" Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Peter seemed to realize that if God could hold Jesus up in the water, then he could hold him up too. That's what Jesus was trying to teach his disciples. So I know he was pleased with Peter's faith. We seem to emphasize the next section where Peter began to doubt and began to sink. But I want us to recognize the faith that it would have required. Faith to step out of a boat in the middle of a lake on a strong windy night. They didn't have searchlights to shine to find him, just oil lanterns. It took incredible faith to jump out of that boat, and he walked on water. We don't know how far, but he did it. Now, when he took his eyes off Jesus and began to look at his circumstances, the waves crashing taller than his head, he began to sink. I like Peter's faith. I also like it that he checked with Jesus first before he just jumped in. I'll read Matthew 14:28 and 29, and you decide if Jesus encouraged this faith attempt. "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. Yes, Jesus encouraged this walk. We talk about Peter's lack of faith, but when he began to sink, he knew who to call. I think it was a wonderful start to faith walking. Now that's what I want to encourage in you, to begin taking little steps of faith. When you hear God telling you to try something new or scary or hard, you need to cast all your worries and fears on Him and jump out of the boat. What is the boat? The safe place where you are, where you feel safe and protected. God may call you to get out of your boat and trust Him in new areas. But make sure you double check that you are hearing the Holy Spirit and not self or some other person that's trying to guide you. Peter gave it a try. He wasn't terribly successful for very long, but at least he gave it a shot. And I believe God was pleased. Your faith will need to grow. And the best way to grow it is to be obedient in the little things. Then step by step, little by little, your trust will grow. In His service, Dale.